The fan frustration threat, from how hard it is to find your games to how much they cost. Why don't broadcasters know you want to hear about baseball or college hoops? What's going on? And UConn Duke, what a broadcasting Hollywood ending. It felt like you were watching a movie. It's Marchand and Meterparel. Everybody loves sports media. I'm John Meterparel. He's Andrew Marchand. We are presented by our great friends at WSC Sports. Andrew, what's your top line opinion?
Well, I think what you're talking about is very true in terms of, people are very frustrated in terms of how to find their games. I did a story for The Athletic for the Yankees this year. You need 10 networks. You need at least 5 subscriptions, depending on how you put it all together. And I think the danger for leagues, for teams, for networks, for all the platforms is if you make it too difficult for people, you're going to lose people. There's a poll that I had from Hub Entertainment that 90% of sports fans, according to them, find it at least somewhat frustrating in terms of trying to figure out where your games are on. So that's a big deal. And then the other thing we'll get into, Netflix had opening day. We'll get into that. They had some problems there. And then the main studio led by Charles Barkley, Nate Burleson as the host for the first couple of rounds. We'll get into that, doing game shows instead of analysis. People like sports. They want to watch sports. I think if you make it more difficult and you don't give them exactly what they want, I'm not sure if that's for the best.
And our twice a week podcast is available when?
It's available. Very nice. Mondays, it usually comes out sometime in the afternoon, but by Tuesday, 5:45, and then by Thursday, 5:45, you get the main event. We are twice a week, andrewmarchand.com. Event April 23rd, off the record with me, Andrew Marchand, with Don Garber, the commissioner of MLS, the World Cup around the corner. Sign up. It's in the show notes or your email. And then the guest on Thursday for that main event, probably come out Wednesday afternoon, Mike Soltis, legendary PR guy for ESPN, now a producer, Sports Heaven, the birth of ESPN. We were taped amazing stories from Soltis. Looking forward to sharing that. We had kind of a PR series. We had Greg Hughes. We had Chris LaPlaca, also from ESPN. A couple of these great stories, so we can go back in the archives for those. But Soltis later in the week.
All right, what is up in your world?
My what's up is NBC's MLB presentation. What NBC got right was they're picking up the story of this new season. They're not starting anew. Now, did they go back in time? You have Bob Costas, you bring him back. Do you talk a little bit about NBC and some of the highlights they had when they used to have baseball? Sure. But the newcomer, Jason Benetti's excellent opening night. They had Oral Hershiser and Luis Gonzalez, great combo. And Benetti, he brings them in. They put Adam Ottavino in the bullpen. I know they've done this. It really has worked on hockey inside the glass. The basketball one courtside, I don't really think fully works. It works kind of because Noah Eagle and Michael Grady are really good play-by-players, and so they incorporate those guys. It would sound just as well with Robbie Hummel and Austin Rivers if they were on the booth. But so Ottavino in the bullpen, maybe that's something, maybe it's not. Not sure. We'll see on that. But overall, the presentation from NBC has been excellent.
Yeah, and I'll pick up with my what's up. Clayton Kershaw, NBC. He was right by the dugout. He was their field reporter. Jason Benetti, Gonzalez, Hershiser weaved him in seamlessly. He was extremely composed. He had some great stories. He was self-deprecating, affable. I wanted more of him. The game was a blowout. Dodgers pouring it on against the Diamondbacks. And Kershaw has this, seems like a unique knack of just knowing what to say at the right time. He even paused at the right times. It seemed like he was a seasoned broadcaster when he really isn't at this point. So I think they might have hit something with Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, I mean, you want more of them, you'll get them in August. That's the next time that Clayton Kershaw is going to be on. That's the next time he's going to be on. These guys make so much money, they don't have to do it right away if they do not want to.
Need to throw every 5 days, Clayton.
You do. He'll be there postseason, but these guys, again, they can do what they want. But Kershaw off to a good start. All right, we'll get to what's down. Mine's Stephen A. Smith. You go back to NBC with a what's down. And then we're going to go deeper into the NCAA tournament, MLB, and then also what we talked about from the top, other topics as well, but at the top in terms of how frustrating it is for fans. So if you want to subscribe, andrewmarchand.com, andrewmarchand.com to hear the rest of the podcast. What's down for me? Stephen A. Smith.